Oh my goodness. Look at me. I don't know what I'm doing this morning. I will make myself bigger. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. I'm Lauren Conlin. If you are new here, Pop Crime TV, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Hey guys. Hey Sal. Hey NDT. Hey Andy. Afton. Of course, Dizzy. Love you all. Love you all. How's everybody's week going so far? I've had an interesting week. Let's start with the fact that I saw Jarrett Ferrantino last night, my favorite homicide prosecutor. It was nice. He was in the city. He's filming something today, or else I would have invited him on. But in about 30 minutes, I'm gonna have a special guest, former homicide detective in Atlanta, Vince Velasquez. He's great. You might have seen him on his show, Homicide Atlanta. It was on Amazon, or actually, it is on Amazon. But Vince, he also was one of the first witnesses in the YSL case. So maybe he can talk to us about that, because before, when I had him on last summer, he couldn't talk to me about it because the trial was underway and it was crazy. So Vince is great. He is also he's a very handsome man, very, very striking man. But anyway, before we get into what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Diddy civil suit, because I know that we really need to get into that. It's so crazy. And I want to watch the clip where this all sort of stemmed from. Hey, Carrie, good morning. Hope your babies are well. Yeah, so I want to watch that clip. I want to go through the civil suit. It's totally wild. And it's basically explaining to us, this civil suit, explaining to the public why the public thought we were going to see baby oil with drugs in it, why we were going to see minors in his trial, and why we didn't. So yes, he is suing Nexstar, which is News Nation. So we'll get into the whole thing. Don't you worry. So I'll talk about it before Vince and then after Vince. So we'll take a little break in between. And also, I would really encourage those of you who haven't already to watch my coverage of, it's maybe a 4-minute video. I tweeted about it, but it's a very sad case out of the Bronx, New York. And a 14-year-old was actually viciously beaten, stabbed, pistol whipped, horrible, on August 5th around 7:30 p.m. at a park in the Bronx, allegedly unprovoked. And he was with a 17-year-old boy who was also attacked. This boy lived, and they were attacked by 4 teens, 2 of them being 18 and the other 2 being 15 and 16. And there was a witness to this. There was a woman who was operating a food truck and her kids were there. Hey, MJ. Hey, Calum. And so, yes, there was, again, a witness. They found, a blade and a knife in the park. And so they were able to make this arrest a few days later, the arrest of these 4 teens. But this boy that was killed, his name is Angel Mendoza. His family is really, really hurting. They have absolutely they are wrecked. And, they admittedly had said that their son was kind of going down the wrong path, hanging out with some not so great kids. He was not directly gang affiliated. These other kids, there are reports that they are and that they aren't. So I'm not exactly sure. I don't want to report on that incorrectly. But I mean, what teenager doesn't go down the wrong path? That doesn't make them deserving of anything like this. So yeah, watching his Angel's family in court yesterday was really difficult when the defendant showed up. And, just full disclosure, I don't necessarily get super scared about, what I see in court. I've been in court with cold-blooded murderers. Truly, I've been feet away from them and it never truly bothers me. But yesterday it really bothered me because I felt like these kids, they had family and friends in the gallery on one side and Angel's family was on the other side. They were sobbing. I mean, his mom was out of her mind sobbing. It was horrible. And the defendants and their friends and family, they were laughing and they were like cheering. They were like, "Oh, we love you. We love you." It was crazy. Meanwhile, again, this one side, this family, their lives will never be the same. They felt like, these people didn't even care about what happened to their loved one, that his life was just completely tossed aside. And so, yeah, it bothered me. It really bothered me. And I just felt like these kids, if they did it, again, innocent until proven guilty, but that's pure evil to do something like that to somebody in such a horrific manner and have absolutely no remorse. That's what it felt like. I just kind of envisioned, them attacking a woman or a child or clearly a teenager, and this person begging for their life, and these kids just not giving a crap. So to me, that is one of the most terrifying things, I think, to think about. Just someone who is so inhumane that doesn't care. But anyway, the next hearing for these teenagers is August 27th, and hopefully there will be another hearing to determine whether the other two, the 15 and the 16-year-old, can be tried as adults. I'm hoping that they can, because again, they will have no fear if they are tried as minors. They'll be out in 10 years. It's ridiculous. So anyway, hey Jared, hey Asha. All right, guys, let's shift gears and check out a clip from News Nation, one of the first ones with Courtney Burgess, where he talks about having sex tapes with celebrities on Ashley Banfield's. Yeah, he says he saw 8 sex tapes with at least 2 celebrity minors. This is what he said. So let's go ahead and let's watch this clip just to refresh ourselves before we get into the civil suit. Yeah, just kidding. If I can find the button to press play.
And those statements include descriptions of what the witness says he saw on those tapes. So I asked him about that, and he answered what he could, given the limitations imposed on him after testifying before the grand jury.
Yeah, never called Courtney Burgess, by the way.
Out of those 8 videos, 8 celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, how many of those 8 celebrities were close to being underage or potentially underage?
2 males.
2 males. And of those 8 celebrities, how many of them were intoxicated or under the influence of drugs?
This is going to be all speculation. I just want to preface it by he wouldn't know if they were. Right.
Sure.
Appeared to
Let
be.
me rephrase
Right.
it.
Based on, yes.
Understand. Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appeared to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
So I just want to make sure they're speculating whether or not they're intoxicated, but he seems certain that he saw minors. The headline says could be minors, could be.
Out of those 8,
I wonder
how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims? Were perpetrating?
Victims.
They were all 8 were victimized.
Yeah.
Meaning this was happening to them and they were inebriated.
Right. Not knowing, I guess, how much proof it was in it, what they was doing.
And of those 8, how many seemed to be potentially minors?
2 to 3, possibly 3.
Thanks for watching.
Possibly.
Go to joinnn.com to find
like
News Nation.
They've literally cut these now. Okay, so now oh man, they have really shortened these videos. Let's find the one. They're all like 2 minutes long. It's so funny. All right, let's find this one. Here we go.
Is your client fearful if Diddy does get out?
As you know, I represent other clients, actual victims who have sued Mr. Combs, Diddy, and civil court, and all of them are very apprehensive about their safety if he were to be granted bond. I am confident in the court. I am sure that the court will remain with their previous decision of no bond. I feel like the judge only gave this, let me think about it, just to not make it as obvious. But I have all the confidence in the world and the federal court and the state of New York that they will remain keeping Diddy under no bond, and that all of the victims in this case will be able to proceed sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and you mentioned, I mean, you don't just represent this man, you represent other alleged victims too, and people involved. Have there been any threats made against any of your
I
clients?
mean, by the way, hold on. I just want to point this out right now. So if you heard the juror on CNN, and, you know, if you kind of have heard some of the rumblings from Diddy's attorneys off the record, you will know that these tapes that the jury watched, right? These FO tapes, they really were a nothing burger. I mean, they were uncomfortable because they were sexual in nature, but it was a lot of baby oil, a lot of rubbing. It was just not what we thought it was. And again, this is just reminding me that Courtney Burgess went on News Nation, talked about testifying in front of a grand jury. I don't know who does that. It's kind of strange. Said he had these tapes. So he must have shown the prosecutor these tapes, and they were like, you got nothing? I mean, because clearly they thought they had more with, you know, the Cassie videos, or the videos, you know, that were given to them by Cassie and Jane. So it's kind of interesting that this alleged video, or these alleged videos that Courtney Burgess is talking about, really were most likely a nothing burger, or else we would have seen them and we would have seen him, you know, at the trial. So I find that to be noteworthy. Okay, sorry.
Clients?
There have been threats from people on the internet, but not from, at least what we don't know, from Diddy to be directly. So my clients have, Mr. Burgess has received several death threats. My client, Mrs. Parham, has been receiving threats, but we don't know if they're just regular people from the internet or if they're actually people who were sent by.
I don't mean to do this again, but Ashley Parham, I don't know if you guys remember, her lawsuit against Diddy is one of the most insane that I had read. I mean, more insane than Lil Rod Jones. If you guys remember, she was claiming that, you know, he assaulted her with like a remote control. Someone else assaulted her. She like hid a knife under a t-shirt, and then she threatened him with a knife, and she said like she FaceTimed with his mom, and his mom was like, don't, you know, go to the police about my son. It was crazy. And then she said she like ran next door, and then she slept next door, and that guy, you know, helped. I don't even know. It was just so insane. So I'm just reminding you, and I'm not saying anything is true or false either way. I'm just saying that was one of the most insane lawsuits, and she's represented by Ariel Mitchell Kidd.
Diddy.
Do you have any idea where the threats are coming from? I mean, have you done any investigation?
Well, most of the investigation leads us to a lot of burner accounts on Instagram, and we're trying to now sift through possibly working with law enforcement to try to get subpoenas to determine the IP addresses of where those threats were emanating.
So, okay, interesting. We know that the cease and desist letter has now come. Has there been any other pressure of any kind that you or your clients have felt to stop talking?
In general, I feel that the gag order, when we talk about that, Mark Agnifilio wrote about me specifically, and also all of the other plaintiffs in the civil lawsuits to try to have all of us gagged. There's pressure every day that us continuing to talk about this is putting not only our lives in jeopardy, but could be potentially used against us in a gag order.
So it was, I just want to make sure I understand correctly, it was Diddy's sons who actually sent the cease and desist. Is that the way it was worded?
Yes, it was worded as coming from Quincy Brown and Christian Combs. It did mention the daughters, but it did not.
Okay, this is not, I don't really care, I guess, about this as much. I mean, where is, let me see, Ariel Mitchell Kid. Because I feel like I remember seeing so many interviews where she, she made a lot of these different claims. I mean, yes, here's another time she went on and said that her, one of her client accused him of grape. Oh, how about this one?
I mean, what are you hearing tonight?
I actually received the New York Post article from the person who contacted me to sell the tape. They sent me that article. I was not shocked by what I read in the article. I was hoping that even the client that I contacted would reach out and see and kind of alert that person that this was going on and to possibly help them. The person who has the tape really doesn't want to shop it around. They really want to help and give it to wanted to directly sell it to that person, but it seems as if they are going elsewhere.
You know, we know that you've seen the footage. You talked about that last week when you were with us. So, as you know who it is, and I know that you can't tell us who it is.
Thanks,
for all
Asha.
the reasons, right? But as you know who it is, and as we're moving through this story, and it's starting to really feel like it's unraveling, and you feel bad for the person, and we don't even know who it is there anything more you can tell us about that part of it?
I really do feel bad about the person. Part of the reason that I did come and say something outside of just to protect my own safety, but I wanted to sound the alarm, essentially, bring the dog whistle, if you will, to that person that maybe they should do something about this before it came out.
Oh my
If
God.
I was them, I would do something.
Okay. So, I mean, look, I do want to rewind this for a second, but not to play the actual video, but just to get right here, just to get these headlines that were put out. Diddy on video having sex with male celeb. She's sitting there saying that she's seen the videos. Courtney Burgess said he saw the videos as well. So everybody's seen them, apparently. Again, I go back to the government. I'm assuming the government saw them as well, and they said, nope, these aren't going to work. So those videos, I would think, would probably be a nothing burger as well. This is really interesting. So what I will do is I will start to go over the civil suit. I will just start. I'm going to sort of summarize it now. Again, Vince is coming on in about 10 minutes. We'll go to Vince. We'll get some info from him. And guys, trust me, you're going to love him. He's also, he's head of security for the Atlanta Hawks as well. I don't know if he publicizes that. Maybe I shouldn't have. Oh my gosh, Simi, you're the best. I just love you. So just to sort of summarize, the lawsuit, okay? I mean, it's interesting here. We've got Sean Combs as the plaintiff. So Sean Combs, finally, he's the plaintiff, and he has filed this in the Southern District of New York, and he is suing, obviously, for defamation based on alleged false statements that harmed his reputation, business, and, in my opinion, most importantly, a right to a fair trial. So I have said this before, so I hope no one gets upset with me per se, but I mean, I felt like walking into the Diddy trial, I already had my, I had my opinions, I had my thoughts and how I perceived this trial to go because of reports like this, because of the civil suits. So yeah, I was going in it thinking that we were going to see all of this and that he was guilty. I was. And so, yeah, I would say that a lot of this affected his right to get a fair trial. However, I feel like I'm different. Like, my mind can be changed. I am not a stubborn person. And, if I say something stupid and I hurt someone's feelings, I will apologize. I'm not going to double down and be like, oh yeah, well, look, I will literally be like, I did not mean to. I am so sorry. You know, I can be flexible. I can hear other people's opinions. I can change my mind based on evidence. 100%. I am fine with that. So I was able to sit there and say, oh, this was a little bit different. This trial, a little bit different than I thought. I was able to do that, but I was able to be in the courtroom. Think of how many people out there. I mean, most of you guys, right, who were not able to be in the courtroom, who maybe didn't care to really dive in or dig into the transcripts or what was going on. They just had something in their head and they were going to stick to it. So, and, you know, I get it. I totally get it. But unfortunately, that's just, you know, it's not fair. So that's why I think you do see a lot of people saying, oh, Diddy got away with this, Diddy got away with that, when it's like you weren't in the courtroom. It's so different. So different. Okay. So Courtney Burgess, you know, is a music industry figure, and he's been accused of fabricating a lot of these claims and also possessing incriminating videos and a memoir from Diddy's ex, Kim Porter, who, God rest her soul, has passed away. And Ariel Mitchell is Courtney Burgess's lawyer, who has been accused of repeating and vouching for Burgess's lies per the civil suit, as well as making her own alleged false statements about police reports and corroborating other allegations against Combs. So this is per the lawsuit. I have not dug into this at all, but Diddy in the lawsuit said that Ariel Mitchell Kidd has a history of ethics complaints, including alleged witness tampering and other celebrity cases. So again, I have not really dug into that to see, you know, just her history and all of that. But this sounds very similar to the allegations made against Tyrone Blackburn as well. Again, I haven't dug in, but the lawsuit will most likely have a lot of that listed out. So, and again, we're gonna get into it. Don't worry, I will pull this up in just a bit. But yes, and then we have the last defendant in the case, Nexstar Media, aka News Nation, which is a media company, and they've been accused of broadcasting these defendants' alleged false claims without verification, amplifying them for profit despite knowing or recklessly disregarding if they could be false. So the main claims and allegations here, the core issue is that Combs alleges a, quote, willful scheme by the defendants to fabricate and disseminate lies about him for personal gain, social media fame, brand promotion, ignoring truth, and just journalistic standards. So some of these claims include the fact that Courtney Burgess falsely claimed to possess flash drives from Kim Porter containing videos of Combs essaying celebrities and minors, often while they were inebriated or unaware of being recorded. And he promoted this fake memoir called Kim's Lost Words, or then they changed the name to Kim Porter Tell It All. And this was allegedly from Kim Porter, but all of Diddy's kids and her friends and family, they were like, no, this is not real. This is a non-existent memoir. My mom didn't have one. And they named in the lawsuit another YouTube channel, and it was, what is it? Atwood Unleashed. Is that Sean Atwood? I think it is. So anyway, they named that as well, because I guess Courtney Burgess went on that show as well. And then they bring up, you know, Ariel Mitchell's role. So saying that, again, she vouched for these claims on multiple News Nation broadcasts. They specifically mentioned September 27th and October 31st. Did I just play a video from that? I don't know the dates. I'll go back and check in a second. Good morning, guys. Yay. The media made people think that Diddy had these women locked in cages. Yeah, no, I agree with you, because I'm pretty sure I thought that. I was like, okay, yeah, I thought that as well. Let me just go back. Yeah. So, falsely stating the videos existed. They were pornographic and involved hidden cameras. Well, one thing I'll say is during the testimony of David James, who is one of Diddy's assistants, he did say that there were cameras in Diddy's house, and he used these to film parties and stuff. Now, I don't know if people knew that he was filming these parties. It seems like there were just cameras in his, the main areas. So I don't know about the allegations about these cameras being hidden in the bedrooms when he was doing these things. However, that's a claim I wouldn't really dispute or think it was super far-fetched. And whether or not you are like Team Diddy or not Team Diddy, if you are Team Diddy, I don't think you could dispute the use of a camera being in a room or in one of his rooms based on everything we've heard, right? I mean, I don't think that's again super far-fetched, but I just don't know if he was actually recording quote unquote minors with said camera. Again, Ariel Mitchell Kidd and News Nation, they named celebrities as victims, suggesting the hidden cameras. Combs claims News Nation knew the statements were probably false due to public contradiction. So I guess they got statements from the children, Kim Porter's family, but prioritized sensationalism for viewership. Okay. And Diddy's claiming the motivations here. Burgess thought publicity and profit from selling the fake memoir. Mitchell aimed to boost her profile in high-profile celebrity assault cases. And News Nation was profiting from ratings in this media frenzy around Diddy's legal troubles. So Diddy is demanding a jury trial here, which is very interesting. After all is said and done. And I wonder, actually, I shouldn't say I wonder. This is not going to trial. They're going to settle somehow. Do you guys agree? I don't know. I feel like this is definitely, definitely going to get settled. And you said, Lucas, most celebrities have cameras in their houses. It's not nefarious. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I think most people have ring cams in their apartment. But, keep in mind when David James, when he was talking about the cameras, this was sort of back in the 2010s, I want to say. So it was a little less common, but nevertheless, it doesn't mean anything nefarious. I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's that claim is so crazy that there were hidden cameras everywhere, because we kind of were told there were hidden cameras everywhere. So it's just like, okay. So that's, I guess, why I'm kind of like, oh, why bother putting that in your civil suit? I don't really get why. Again, but it's probably because they are insinuating that these cameras were filming these celebrity FOs with all of these alleged minors. So, since Vince isn't here yet, let me pull this down and I will add, I'm going to add the lawsuit to the stage just for a few. We've gone through some of this already. Sorry, I have to look at the lawsuit up close because I cannot see it when I put it on StreamYard. So I'm just skipping through a couple of the pages that I kind of just summarized here. Okay. Now I think this is important, and sort of what I had said. The government did not call Burgess as a witness at trial, nor did it present any video evidence matching the description of the videos Burgess claimed he possessed and provided to the government. That right there. I mean, I think that's pretty telling. There are reasons that the government did not call this guy and use his video footage. So, there you go. It also says, defendant Burgess has been described as a, quote, one-time industry bit player and a, quote, fringe character. In the past year, Seeking to capitalize on the media's insatiable appetite for celebrity scandal, true, Burgess has gone to great lengths to invent and publicize outrageous falsehoods about Mr. Combs. In media interviews, Burgess claims he has worked in the music industry for decades, yet there exists no public record of any professional achievements, and he left no detectable footprint on the industry prior to his recent campaign to malign Combs. Okay, so that's kind of true. I agree with that. I didn't know who he was, but hey, whatever. Oh yes, Vince is here. Let me just take this down, make myself a little. There he is. Yes, Vince.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine. Let me change this banner right now. Well, we'll come back to that, guys. I told you we have this special treat. My favorite guy, Vince Velasquez. We're going to talk all about his new show. I'm so excited to hear about this. I dug in a little bit last night, The Murder Mind on YouTube. I want to share the page to your show. But first, I've introduced you as a former homicide detective out of Atlanta. You're clearly a television star. You also do security for the Atlanta Hawks. You're the head of security. I mean, I feel like I might be missing a lot, but please fill in the blanks. Oh no, now I can't hear you. I don't know what just happened. What? We lost Vince's. That's so weird. Well, I'm making a banner right now. So let's see. Oh, there you go. I got you.
Okay, we're good.
Yes, we're good. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
fill in the blanks.
You covered it. I mean, I don't consider myself a TV star. I think I had a fortunate opportunity to have a couple TV shows on a major network, TV One. One show was 4 seasons and the other show was 1. But okay. The security piece of this thing, I've been doing that since I retired, consulting, started a business. So I'm really diversified in what I do. So security, consulting, I do expert witness work. And then now after ending the shows with the major networks, we decided we're going to do our own thing. We're going to do it on YouTube. And then, we have the creative liberty of doing whatever we want. That's the phenomenal thing about YouTube. You can do,
isn't it? You're right.
Yeah. So, like if I want to film myself drinking coffee one day and talk about crime, you know what? Who cares what I'm wearing? I don't have to have a suit on. Outtakes or intakes, let's not cut that out.
Yes.
Leave it there.
Exactly. Yeah. I totally agree. And so, guys, I saw some of you just said, Simi, you subbed. Everybody go ahead and sub to The Murder Mind. I dropped the link in the episode notes. I'm going to share it right here. Let me share this tab so you can see. And we can play, some of these clips, but it's great. I mean, I literally was like, this is exactly what I want. The serial killer next door. This is what puts me to sleep at night, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm one of those people. So tell us, is there any of these episodes that really stick out to you that you're like, oh, watch this one?
So the way we have this right now, this is an episodic series. So the serial killer next door, we have 11 episodes, starting with episode 1, and it takes you through my investigation. So at the end of episode 1, of course, there's a cliffhanger. So you have to come back for episode 2, all the way to this particular case, 11 episodes. At the end of episode 11, you'll see the conclusion, but you'll start to understand where I'm going in my investigation, probably by episode 6 and 7. And there's a lot of twists and turns. In real life, we're using real audio from my interviews with the suspect. It gets real challenging, real crime scene photos. And then when this case is over, then we shift over to the next case. And the next case happens to be a case where I worked with an NYPD detective. Congruently, we worked our cases together, same suspect. That's 8 episodes. So each case has a number of episodes that will bring the viewers along the ride with me. Now we got some other ideas for the channel. We're going to delve into perhaps some behind the scenes podcast style stuff that follow up on an episode. And then also we're looking at doing some other stuff with current cases where there's a one-off, where there's something notable in the media where people are really interested in. And I'm going to give my 2 cents as a, retired homicide detective of what I think is going on with the case.
I love it. Now, I want to ask you, just because this is so murdery and, you're saying a lot of, just questionable
murdery things.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, have you mastered sort of the algorithm here on how to get around that with YouTube? Because YouTube can be a bitch about that stuff. It's so annoying.
So let me tell you something. To speak YouTube language is something that I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would have so much difficulty in understanding. Mm-hmm. It is another world. I feel like I got on a spaceship and I flew to another planet, and I'm meeting, intelligent life forms from another race of people of existence. Yeah. So to answer your question, our videos, we have disclaimers. In print, you hear me say at the beginning of every episode that, this has graphic content, viewer discretion is advised. So we follow all of the YouTube rules, and that's what YouTube requires us to do. We haven't been censored. We have not been censored at all. All of our music and our videos are copyrighted or licensed that we can use. So far we're doing good. We blur out, of course, we're not showing real, the faces of victims. We're blurring them out, and we're actually also changing or disguising the voices of real witness interviews just to protect their identities and changing their names as well.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. I love it. And you guys, you have a booth this year as well at CrimeCon where you're promoting the show.
We do.
And okay, that's really exciting. So anyone going to CrimeCon, you can meet Vince. That's where I met him last year. I feel like I have such good Vince stories, by the way. Sorry. I feel like
that's okay.
Since last year, when we first met, I wanted a picture with him, and I was like, "Can I touch you?" And you were like, "Yeah, of course you can touch me." I was like, "I don't know. I feel like we're at CrimeCon, and people are just strange about that stuff. So who the hell knows, right?" And you were like, "Okay, weirdo."
Well, you're friends with Cheryl McCollum, so again. Mac is my girl, and she's been she's a finalist for the Clue Awards this year for I think the best new podcast. Her podcast is called Zone 7. But anyway, I've known Mac for many years, and that's how I met you. So of course, guilty and friendship by association. Like if you're friends with Mac, you're absolutely cool with me. So.
No, that was so funny. And then I have a new Vince story, which is funny because and I told this to Cheryl at McCollum because you were in town for the Hawks. Right. Yeah. And so I think you had mentioned a week before, you're like, "Oh, I might be in town." And then I'm like, "Oh, let me know." You never followed up. I'm going to meet my girlfriend. I think it was at, where was it?
St. Regis. Ritz.
The Ritz. Yeah. It was the Ritz or something. Yeah. In Gramercy. Yeah. And I see Vince, right, with all the NBA players, basically. He's with them. And I'm like, "Vince." And I'm like all dressed up. And I'm like, "You didn't call me back. Like you didn't text me or whatever." And then we hugged in the middle of the street and everybody's like, "What is going on here?" You could see heads turn. Like they thought I was a woman scorned, basically.
100%. The players were like, "Who? Okay." I'm like, no. It's. And then you look even weirder. I looked even weirder trying to explain it. Like I'm like, "No." So I know her from a podcast, but it's CrimeCon, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" That's okay, V. Don't worry about it. I'm like, no, just forget it.
They're like, you just do your thing. We didn't ask, but it 100%. Literally was right in the middle of the street in front of the hotel. It was so funny. Everybody, and I'm just loud by nature. So I'm like, "You didn't text me. You didn't call me. What the
Yeah, right. They were like, "Why did you call her back, D?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Shut up.
What's your problem?
It's not that." Yeah.
And
It
even
was
my
so funny.
girlfriends inside were like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Nothing. It's fine. It's fine."
Yeah.
And then
Right.
wait, my other last favorite one was at the cigar bar that we went
Oh
to.
yeah.
And there was a bunch of NBA players there. And so somebody comes up to us, and I'm an idiot. I know nothing about sports. And I
Tim
was like,
Hardaway.
"Oh, that's it." Yeah. So I go,
Tim
"Oh,
Hardaway.
are you a fan of Vince?"
Senior. Tim Hardaway Senior. Right.
Which is worse because isn't he like more famous?
Yeah,
basically.
he's like a legend.
Yeah.
NBA
Yep.
legend.
So
yeah.
I just look at him and I'm like, "Oh, are you a fan of Vince?" And Vince is like, "That's Tim Hardaway." I was like, "Oh,
fan of me? Like I'm a fan of him. What are you talking about? I'm a fan of Tim. He's not my fan. I'm his fan."
Okay, well, I literally was like, "You're a fan of Vince."
That is funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like we've had good times, I feel like. And that's why I said I feel like I have really good Vince stories. So but yeah, so also, I also told my chat before, we couldn't really talk about this, but you were also one of the first witnesses in the Jeffrey Williams case, the YSL case. Oh God, I can't hear you. Yeah. We still can't hear you. Yeah. It's so weird. We are waiting for Vince to fix his audio because I really do want to get some of the details on YSL. And yes, follow Vince on Instagram. Also, Vince's TikTok is really great too because he puts out these very short videos on different ways to save yourself from different situations. I think you're good. I heard you.
You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay, perfect. I won't touch my phone again, I promise.
No, it's cool.
Something with my phone.
Yeah, so go back to YSL. You couldn't really tell me about it before because the trial was ongoing.
Yeah, so the YSL was a very unique trial. The way I was involved, so when I was in homicide detectives in most cities, they're not just investigate murders, but they also investigate officer-involved shootings. So back then, during the time that a lot of these cases were happening, associated with that RICO indictment, there was a case where an officer ended up firing his weapon and shooting a suspect. And I believe it was during the middle of a robbery that they happened to roll up on these guys trying to rob somebody, and it was a shootout. So we got involved in that case, myself and my partner, David Quinn, as homicide detectives investigating the officer involved shooting piece of that. So congruently, we have to also investigate the predicate crime that was occurring, the things that led up to the officer having to get himself involved in that. And then what the job is for us to determine whether the officer acted appropriately, present our findings to the district attorney's office. Well, unbeknownst to us at that time, all of that entire case where the officer rolled up on a guy robbing somebody and people in one car and another car was all involved with people from YSL. So my partner at the time was the lead. We were together on a police shooting case. He had to dig into the robbery, and he was aware of Jeffrey Williams, mentioning, other people mentioning Jeffrey Williams was present during that. So that all got wrapped up into the RICO trial. So the way the RICO trial works is there are individual cases that the district attorney presents to the jury in the indictment that demonstrates a criminal organization, an organized organization that was operating within the city. And if you can prove those cases and that the leader, and they were alleging that Jeffrey Williams was the leader of YSL, then you have a case. So that's how we got involved. I had to testify strictly for that piece of the indictment where there was a robbery in progress and an officer shot somebody.
Wow. And how long were you on the stand for?
A couple days. Because you got to remember there is multiple defendants, which means there's multiple defense attorneys that get the opportunity to cross-examine me. Yeah. So I was on the stand for a couple days, and listen, a robust criminal defense is important for anybody. That's in our Constitution. You have rights. You know, you're presumed innocent. It's our job as far as police and prosecutors to prove to a jury you're guilty. And those defense attorneys, a lot of them I knew, you know, through my years of working, and they're great guys and they do a great job, you know. So I've never had anything, but their job is to challenge me. Their job is to get, you know, we need to get jiggy with it up there, right? You know, like she's got to ask me some hard questions, and you know, so nothing was personal. So, but it's tough. It takes a toll on you. Cross-examination is always stressful. It's a lot of anxiety.
You get anxiety? You do?
100%. Oh yeah.
I cannot picture that. Sorry, I literally can't. You're just very chill, so I can't picture you getting like anxious about anything.
Yeah, well, step into my head. Like if you could get in here, you would be like, wow, what a mess is going on up there. Yeah, trust me. I play it cool, but inside I'm like, okay, that was a great question. I'm on the stand. I'm like, what? Okay, all right, I know what to say now.
You're so funny, Vince. Oh my god, I never would have. Honestly, like you give like just the opposite of that. That's what you give off. So that's good for you, truly.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
But
don't let them see you sweat, right?
Right, of course. But was there ever a time that they were challenging your, I guess, your ethics, these defense attorneys?
100%. So there was a lot of buzz. Now, you know, this trial was followed on YouTube. Like people were, you know, and I wasn't, one, I'm not allowed to because I'm a witness, but two, you know, it doesn't really matter. But what I heard later, there was a lot of chatter about a certain portion of my testimony. And there was a little controversy. So one of the questions came up about whether or not my partner, David Quinn, deleted a statement, an audio statement from a key witness in that particular robbery police shooting thing at a gas station nearby. And it absolutely didn't happen. But I was asked on the stand, have you ever deleted a witness's statement? And the answer is yes. So in context and explanation, what I explained to them was, when you do a neighborhood canvas, I have a tape recorder going, and if someone tells me they didn't see anything, they don't want to get involved, right? I will write in my report, I spoke to Miss Jones. She said she didn't see anything. This is her name. This is her address, her phone number, her date of birth, all her biographical information. And she had nothing to report. I'm not going to put the recording in the file. There's nothing to say. But let's just say fast forward a week later, I'm knocking on another door and I asked that neighbor, did you see anything? No, but Miss Jones was outside. I know she saw it. So I go back to Miss Jones, recorder going. I'm like, Miss Jones, remember you talked to me about a week ago and you said you didn't see anything? Let's really get into this. Did you see something? Yeah, detective, this is all hypothetical. This is not real. This didn't really happen in this case. Yeah, detective, I just didn't want to get involved. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Okay. So you did lie to me the first time. Yeah, you did. But the reason why is because you were afraid. You live in a neighborhood. Yeah. Okay. What did you see? Boom. That goes in my file. I've covered the first encounter, right? Yeah. She admitted on this time she lied. I write in my report again. So now on 3 occasions, I've documented this interview. So that happens all the time. Man, that grew like wildfire. Detective Velazquez, Atlanta News First here, local news station here, reported, deletes evidence, deletes interviews. And I was like, and if anybody knows me, like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but like my integrity is here. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just,
Wow.
It goes without question. So anybody that knows me, they were like, come on, man. They know that's just such bullshit.
Wow.
You know, but again, but that is, you got to take that on the chin because that's a defense attorney's job. Their job is to find something, latch onto it, and try to bring doubt into the jury's mind. I don't blame them for that. One bit, you know?
Totally.
Not at all. Didn't take it personal.
And I mean, and with that, I feel like with the YSL case, that would suck to have a headline like that. But because the case was just such a media shitstorm, I feel like the next day there was something else that we all sort of turned to. And
100. I just had this conversation. I mean, you're only news until the next thing happens. Like I used to tell people on homicide, I'm like, look, okay, you made a mistake, right? The buzz around the department is you really fucked up right now. Pardon my language. But trust me, tomorrow somebody else is gonna fuck up, and nobody's gonna think about this anymore. They're gonna be on to the next guy. So don't worry about it.
It's so true, and that's why, especially with YSL, that's like, every day there was. I mean, I was obsessed with watching Lil Woody on this stand because I was like,
oh my God.
I'm like, he's not real. He's not a real person. I don't understand.
He's a caricature.
Yes. God, what did he say? They're like, how old are you? He's like, grown. Like, how many years? He's like, I'm an adult. Like, what?
When I heard that, I said, in my mind, I said, we need t-shirts. How old are you? Grown on the back. I mean, those things would sell out.
I still say that all the time. I'm like, I'm grown. I'm an adult. Like, he had so many good one. I mean, what was the other one where he's like, he was so high on the stand. He was sitting there and he's like, man, I need some water. Like, I don't even, it was
so it's so entertaining. Yeah. It's so entertaining. Yeah.
No, so, I mean, listen, you know that I covered the Diddy trial and we were going over his new civil suit, like where he is the plaintiff, which is what we haven't really seen much of.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's crazy. These racketeering cases against hip hop artists and musicians. I mean, they're becoming more and more frequent, but in my opinion, the cases are getting weaker and weaker. And I felt like the government was reaching throughout a lot of this. That's what I thought. And I got really close to, and I've mentioned this on my stream before, I got really close to this guy behind me that worked for NYPD and hand in hand with HSI, really liked this guy, really respected him. I would constantly turn around and ask him, like, where is the physical evidence? What are we going to see on these hard drives? What are we going to see? And when they finally pushed in this cart of like physical evidence, Vince, it was like sex toys and stripper shoes and baby oil and, drugs to that could be destroyed because they were just recreational party favors. Right. So you're like, I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, right? It's weird. Like, I mean, I've followed it, not exclusively.
Yeah,
you definitely know way more about this case than I do. But I see this happening more and more, and I'm kind of, for me, it's a double-edged sword. So we had to take victims' statements and outcry seriously. We can't just discount what they're saying because it doesn't seem like it's possible because of the perpetrator being a celebrity. That's one. But then there's the other side of that thing too, is that it's become so popular. I think that some people may want to take advantage of, I guess, of the hype that's going on with this right now. I think Diddy, in my opinion, is a straight narcissist. I think he is someone who enjoys controlling people, men and women. He's a businessman. I mean, I have a Diddy story. There was a case when I was first. So back when I first started at homicide, we were homicide and assaults. So we would handle assault as well. That changed over the years to just homicides. But I had a case where a woman was hit in the face with a champagne bottle and was cut and had like 30 stitches across her face. Survived, obviously. And I caught the case, and it was someone at a club that was part of Diddy's album. They used to do the street promotions for new albums back in, I think, the early 2000s. And anyway, through the investigation, I discovered that it was part of the street crew that was part of Diddy's new album release, and they were all connected. And then the person that I learned that actually hit her in the face with the bottle was someone close to him. And Diddy had a restaurant here named after his son and was here in Atlanta called Justin's. Oh. So I got some word on the street that they were going to be at Justin's. I was looking for this guy. I ended up getting a warrant for him. I couldn't find him, but I found out where he was going to be in this particular night. And there was a back room at Justin's, big velvet curtains, floor to ceiling curtain.
What year was it again? Sorry.
God, this was probably 2001, maybe. Okay. 2000, 2001. nevertheless, I went in there, and just like you see in a movie, there's these two cute guys guarding the curtain. There's a long table, they're all filled with, Diddy's people. Diddy's in there, and, a little static with the guy at the curtain, like, you're not coming in. I'm like, my man, either you move out of the way or you're going away in handcuffs. So, that worked out. And to give Diddy credit, like, he understands the business.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for this one particular guy, not him. And when I saw the guy, I said, hey, you know what this is about? You ready? Let's go. And he kind of looked at me like he was about to say something like, I'm not going. And Diddy just spoke up and was like, yo, he goes, get your ass out of this room and go with him. He didn't want no smoke.
Really?
Yeah. He didn't want no smoke. He didn't want no smoke with the cops. And Diddy didn't hit nobody with a bottle. So it was a very surreal moment, but it really demonstrated to me at that moment that, obviously he was widely popular even back then. That this guy is, he's a businessman, but with all that power, all that money, fast forward 2 decades, right? From that moment that I had that encounter with him. Imagine all of the people that he's encountered, all the success, all the money he's made, and all the power. Like, that was a powerful moment sitting in that room and watching him orchestrate this and literally order somebody to go to jail. Like, he literally said, go.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need, So it doesn't surprise me that, he's done some of the things he's done, and following this case, Cassie is, in my opinion, someone who suffers from Stockholm syndrome. I honestly believe that, she, some people, I've heard a lot of arguments against her that, she was getting paid, she had clout, she was in parties, she was exposed to all these important people, so what? But like, if you groom somebody and from a young age and you start to really form this idea that, you are who they need to be with and everything I tell you to do, you're going to do, then, there's some substance there. There's some meat on the bone, so to speak.
Yeah.
So it's a crazy case, but I don't know, we're going to see the end of this. I think Shannon Sharp, you had, right. You had Diddy, Russell Simmons. I was just in Bali on vacation. I'm like, I'm going to run into Russell Simmons somewhere.
Right.
Maybe.
But wait, I don't know how I feel about the Shannon Sharp case. I'm confused about that one. I have to say I am. Like, I don't know. I like to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I really do. And look, I'll be attending Harvey Weinstein's sentencing tomorrow. So I really, I had thoughts on that case that literally got me a review on Apple Podcasts calling me a rape apologist, which I am not. I just found it to be in one case that I saw with Harvey, like, and this is just, I guess it's sort of relevant, but, a little off topic. I found it crazy that I just found it crazy that she said that he raped her. And then like an hour later, she's like, I'm so excited for you to meet my mom at for lunch tomorrow. I'm like, I don't understand this. Like, what is it then? Like, I know there are reasons, why women, we don't go to the police and why we can't tell. I get that. Right. Like, I totally am sympathetic to that. I had said this out loud that I thought it was strange and I'm not sure how I feel about it. And it was like, well, I'm an apologist. So
yeah, I don't look at it as an apology. I think it's a valid question. The majority of the sexual assaults I've ever dealt with, unfortunately, the end result was homicide. So I don't have a victim to talk to and ask questions about, but having watched SVU detectives work and actually looking at interviews, there's such a wide array of emotions that are involved with women. And I've seen where women have done some really odd and strange things after being sexually assaulted that we say a normal person wouldn't do. So I can't speak to that. I don't understand, if she could have legitimately been raped, sexually assaulted, and then put it in a place where there's still some other things that she wants to do and maybe address it later. I'm just speculating. I'm not a psychologist.
No, but you have more experience with this than I do. And yeah, that's a good point. This could have happened to her. And I don't know, but I just, everything together with parts of his case, I was just like, And sorry, I should have clarified too. It was 3rd degree rape. It wasn't, yes, which is, so it's not the full on whatever, but it's still traumatizing nonetheless if it happens to you. But, you know, going back to what you said as well, I think that with Diddy, you had said, you know, if somebody comes to you, you obviously can't ignore these claims. Well, I think with the Diddy case, nobody went to law enforcement at all. It was the government reaching out to people, getting them as witnesses after Cassie's lawsuit dropped and like Lil Rod Jones and you know, things of that nature. They were saying, okay, well, you know, did this happen to you based on what this person said or what that person said? And so I think it sort of escalated from there. But I think it would have, they would have had a much stronger case if people went to law enforcement, you know?
Yeah. Well, I do know that a lot of times when a perpetrator has multiple victims, and it could be assaults, especially in like domestic violence cases.
Yeah.
A serial dater, somebody that dates and abuses women, right? The police get a hold of the case and then they start to do an investigation and they do the background and they realize that this particular man had 5 other girlfriends in the last 5 years. It makes sense. You want to look for similar patterns, though it doesn't mean because they didn't come forward, it didn't happen. Yeah. A lot of times they're afraid, but what happens is when they see an avenue, and this is just from experience, when women see an avenue that, okay, there is going to be some resolution and I'm not going to be on this island by myself, there's safety in numbers, it encourages them to come forward and tell exactly what they've been holding back for so long. Because to do that on your own, especially with someone of his stature, you are really going to be vilified. No one's going to be, no one's going to want to believe that. They're going to be like, no way, that can't be true. You know, he paid for your house and a million things. So
yeah. No, I totally agree with that. It's really difficult to come forward about, let's say, a man who has, you know, what seems to be all the power, money, and resources in the world. I totally understand that. And like you said, strength in numbers. Not negating that at all. I guess I just mean like I've had some questions, I guess, in the last year with some of these cases, if that makes sense. And I think I'm really, for me, it was more for the Diddy stuff. Now it's the civil suits that I'm sort of questioning. There's already been one that was knocked off. There's another one that I went through last week. It was one of the escorts that said, oh, you know, now I realize that I have all this psychological trauma because of what, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I don't know about that. It was one of the male escorts. And again, I'm saying I really don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know either way. And I think before I sat through this trial, I was taking all of the civil suits as fact. And I was like, oh, this is horrible. Yup, I believe this. I believe that. And now I just look at things more objectively based on, literally based on the Diddy trial. It really has opened my eyes a lot. And yeah. So I don't know. I hate upsetting people if they really do think that I am some type of apologist, because I'm not. I'm just trying to be, objective. But yeah.
I mean, you're never going to please everyone. Like, there's always going to be naysayers and people who, have a different opinion. That's okay.
Totally. No, you're right. I think just sometimes, like, as a female, we get it so hard. Like, if they think we're going against other females or like whatever, we just get like, I don't know. But just to sort of close things out, I want to pull back up your YouTube, because we want everyone to go and sub to Vince's new channel. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I can't wait to like dive into this. But I like these little shorts you do as well.
Detectives, sometimes they get tunnel vision, and you have to keep your options open. You have to keep a wide lens. You have to be able to shift when things seem like they're just not feeling right. Dig a little deeper and see, okay, so maybe the phone records don't support your theory. Well, you got the phone records. You can't get rid of them. They're never going away. They're part of your file. You have to explore why these phone records, there's a reason for that, why they don't make sense into your theory. So now you have to almost have congruent investigations. So what I used to do is I would always ask myself, what would a defense attorney ask me on the stand on cross-examination about this piece of evidence that I collected, about this interview I conducted? What is my answer going to be? And as I started to think like that, I started to open my mind up and like, wait a minute. Okay, I've really got to widen my net. I'm getting tunnel vision here. And I don't think a lot of these detectives, it's easy to just follow, like low-hanging fruit. You got to climb the tree sometimes and get the stuff.
So what you had mentioned before, that it's episodic. So if someone's going to start, they should start with episode 1.
Yeah, so the name of this case is The Serial Killer Next Door. This is a short that I do for Think Like a Detective, so it's another playlist. But the particular case is a tragic 2007 murder of Dennis McGuire that took me on a road from a simple homicide, not simple, but a single homicide that opened a can of worms to a serial killer literally living next door to all these victims. So episode 1 is the body in the yard. That's when I responded to the scene. And then all the way from episode 2, I think we just dropped episode 8 yesterday. It's going to take you through this crazy case. This particular case, I worked for 2 years. And just to give you a little tease, this thing, like I'm sitting, I'll give you little bits from different episodes. Okay. Me and this guy, we would talk on the phone. It's almost like talking to your buddy. Like I'm literally talking to a serial killer. Hey, how you doing today? Good. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just cooking some greens. One time I went to his house and I honestly thought he wanted me to kill him. And I'm sitting there back to his kitchen door and he's cutting greens. And he just freezes and he's going down this really dark, weird road with what he's saying. And he's, almost in tears and he just freezes for a second. And I'm like, oh shit, he's about to turn around and come at me with this knife. So I literally was pulling my gun out of my holster and then he just went right back to cutting greens. And I was the most eerie, like the hair in the back of my neck was standing up. But I worked this case for 2 years. We brought in an undercover FBI agent to pose as a real estate agent. He started working for her. This case has so many twists and turns. And for 2 whole years.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker, right? While I'm investigating him for all these murders that span from 1986 all the way to when I finally arrested him in 2009, during my 2-year investigation, while he knows he's a suspect, while he knows I've searched his house several times on a search warrant, while I brought a dog over sniffing for gunpowder and found evidence that had gunpowder on it, while all of this is happening, he knows I'm looking at him. He kills somebody else.
Oh my. Is that narcissism, stupidity, or like, what is that? Just addiction? Evil?
Yeah. It's the catch me if you can syndrome. Literally kills his neighbor behind his house, not at his house, but at an offsite location. And the gun, here's the kicker. You got to watch this, but the gun that killed that person, the ballistics matched my murder from a year before.
Oh my gosh. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. Yeah. Wow. Oh, I'm so excited to watch. I'm going to download them. I have a flight on Thursday, so I'm going to download all those episodes. That makes me so excited. And
we drop, just so everybody knows, we drop a new episode every Monday at 6 p.m.
Every Monday at 6 p.m. Oh, that's so exciting. Yay. Well, I was going to say you also have a playlist for, just safety precautions. And that's something that I enjoy watching because they're short and they're super duper helpful. I just said super duper. I don't know why. I'm sorry.
I say that. I say that all the time.
Do you really? Good. I felt kind of like a cheese ball.
Well, when you have kids, that you use words like that.
Yes, my kids are getting older though, so I'm using them less and less.
Funny you mentioned kids. I remember my son is 30, so I have one kid. He's a grown man, but I remember the time when I took him to school and I didn't get a hug.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very affectionate with my son. And I was crushed. Like I got a fist bump. And he's like, no, Dad, I'm too old for that now. It was like 12. I'm like, what? I'm like, wait a minute. And I'm the whole day, I'm driving to work and I'm like, oh my God.
Aww.
Yeah. So I don't know how old your kids are, but that will happen.
Yeah, no,
maybe not with mom. Maybe not.
You
No,
know,
my daughter, my son, he hugs me all the time. He is like,
okay.
whatever. But my daughter is like, no, at 9. She was like, I'm good. Like you are, and I'm like, excuse me, like all your friends,
Yeah.
all her friends really like me. And they're always like your mom. Oh, they actually told her that I have really good shoes. Like 9-year-old said that. And I'm like, because I do have good shoes. So they're correct.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, your friends are smart. So you should totally hug me for the shoes. Okay. But
Right.
so Ashley says, are you still friends with Detective Quinn? I'm assuming yes.
Oh God, that's my brother.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, that Quinn and I are like, we are almost symbiotic. Like we exist together. Like, like he's my, like seriously, like that dude is family. Like our DNA, we're intermixed. Yeah. 100%.
So sweet. I love it.
Yeah.
And then 6 wanted to know, did you work the Wolf Jones case?
What is the Wolf Jones case?
I don't know that case either. Was it Atlanta? I'm not sure. I thought maybe I should know it or something.
Well, the answer is no, because I don't know. I don't, no disrespect to Wolf Jones if he's the victim.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't recall. I mean, I assisted on a lot of cases, and forgive me if I don't recall the name. I don't think I did though.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Ashley also just said, hold on, his toothpick in his mouth was hilarious.
Oh, Quinn. Oh God, yeah. The toothpick. We call him the Toothpick Bandit. That was his nickname.
That's so funny. Oh, 6 says Diddy former bodyguard. I didn't know who Wolf Jones was.
Oh, Wolf. Yes, actually. Oh my God, I did work that. Wow. And you listen. I apologize. This is no disrespect to victims, but I worked homicide for 17 years.
Yeah.
And I probably touched over 1,000 murders, probably more than almost 2,000. I did work the Wolf Jones case in Buckhead. That was all tied into BMF. Big Meech, from the leader of BMF, was arrested that night. It was actually 2 murders. Wolf was killed on one side of the street and another person was killed on the other. It was like a shootout in the middle of Buckhead. But I did work that. Yes.
Wow, I did not know about that. There's so many I don't know about. And I feel like I should, because I cover so much Diddy. My gosh. So I still haven't booked my Crime Con trip yet. I need to do that. I need to just like rip off the Band-Aid, go and hang out, because it'll be so fun, right? It'll be so fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working.
Are you working the whole time? Can we really not hang out at all? Like, I
mean, it's our booth, so I got to be there from morning setup, night.
We can go out at night. We can get cigars or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm sure we can figure it out. Yeah, but I have my business partner with me and his daughter, so there's some other things I got to do with them as well.
Also blew me off last year. You don't remember, but you did. You blew me off. You don't remember, or you do?
Oh, I go to bed. Yeah. Okay, so let me give a spotlight in Vince Velasquez's world, please, right? Please. I get up super early, and by 9:00 p.m., I am struggling to keep my eyes open. So, and if once I make it to the room, I'm done. That's it. I'm winding down and I'm asleep. So
that's pretty much what happened. You're like, I'll text you after the Clue Awards. I was like, okay,
oh God, I'm sure I just laid my head on my pillow and I was done. So that happens quite often. Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I don't know what you did, but you didn't text me. So just saying.
Yeah, okay. Passive aggressive. Wow.
I know. I remember everything, okay?
I see.
So Ashley, we did talk about the Karen Reed case briefly. Vince he wasn't super into that case. Karen Reed, right? You just knew about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really keep up with it. I know it was important to a lot of people, but it just, I don't know.
I get it. I totally get it. For me, it got very toxic. And it also was overlapping with Diddy. But yeah, I mean, everybody, you guys, if you don't already love Vince, watch his work. I mean, you are going to love him so much as I do. Probably not as much as I do. No, I'm just kidding, because it's so much. But he's amazing. Subscribe to his new channel, Murder in the Mind. Murder in the Mind, right? The Murder Mind. Yes, sorry. Mind. Yeah. I was looking at the Killer Next Door. That's the playlist that we want to start with. But I know you guys are funny. I'm savage. I just like tell it like it is. I'm like, you blew me off, and that's that. So
Oh man, I'm feeling guilty now.
No,
Jeez.
don't. I'm kidding. Are you kidding me? I'm okay. Don't worry. I'm okay. But it is fun to just like give you crap. And yes, Vince is amazing. And thank you to Dizzy for posting all the links to Vince's channels, his Instagram, his TikTok. You've got it all. Go follow him.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
It.
And hopefully I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll be there. We're in Creators Row, wherever that is.
Yes. I walked that the other year and I saw a lot of awesome podcasts, and it was really fun. I'm just so lazy. I need to fix that. So
yeah, I mean, it's a big haul. I remember last year I was so tired just walking around. So I get it.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm alone. So I'm just like, okay, because everybody's working. So I'll figure it out. Well,
Cheryl will be there as well. Cheryl McCullum. So
she's the busiest out of anybody. Are you kidding me? She's like so busy.
I know.
Oh
I know. She is. Bless her heart.
She's the queen of Crime Con. So I mean,
Indeed, she is.
Yeah. But anyway, Vince, you're the best. Hopefully see you in a few weeks, and I'll probably text you later. So
okay. All right. Thanks,
look
everyone.
To not responding. Just kidding.
Yeah, I just won't. I'm just gonna ignore you. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye. Oops. So guys, Vince is amazing. I love to give him crap. It's so fun. He's so cute, right? He's adorable. Oh my gosh. And Ashley, I loved your fangirling just now. That was amazing. I love you for that. And I also, I love his insight into YSL, because when I first interviewed him, YSL was full speed ahead, and he couldn't answer any of my questions. So I was a little bummed about that, but I saw that about KK being removed from a civil suit because they found out they accused her for facilitating certain encounters when she would be 10 years old at the time. So yeah, I guess another reason to really go through all of these civil suits. So let's go back to the Diddy civil suit. Let's pull that back up here. So anyone who is just joining, we started off, I know, right? Vince is so amazing. Oh, yay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Caleb. You guys are awesome. All right. So let's go back to the civil suit. Yeah, if you're just joining, we went over the civil suit, I guess, sort of as a whole, a very quick rundown, if you will. And now I'm kind of going through some of the important sections, or what I feel like are the important sections. And this is a $100 million defamation suit that Diddy has against Ariel Mitchell Kidd, Courtney Burgess, and Nexstar, aka News Nation. So going back to what he said about Burgess, like kind of making up his career in the music industry, he said that the New York Times basically quoted that Burgess has only amped up the circus-like frenzy surrounding Mr. Combs's case. So he's quoting the New York Times, what they said about Courtney Burgess in this lawsuit. Now, he also says that Burgess has never even met Sean Combs and has never had any relationship with anyone in Mr. Combs's family. Nevertheless, Burgess has claimed on multiple occasions that Kim Porter, the mother of 4 children with Mr. Combs, who died in 2018, provided him with a copy of her memoir and videos depicting Mr. Combs sexually assaulting inebriated celebrities and minors. Then those close to Miss Porter, including her children and her roommate, that's weird. Does that mean Diddy? I don't know. For over 20 years, had never heard of Burgess before he made this utterly implausible, completely false claim. No, they're probably saying another roommate, but that's so interesting. I do feel like, if you have a friend of like 20 years, your kids probably would know, especially if your kids are teenagers. Your other good friends would probably know, most likely. And of course, we all have our friends that, I guess we don't broadcast, but I would think if you're going to give something like a memoir or these dirty sex tapes, I would think that if you're going to give those to somebody, it would be, a close friend that you trust, that maybe I don't know. I just feel like that is a little strange. But and yes, Vince is amazing. He's so cute. I find Vince to be so like sexy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm so inappropriate. He is. He's a very great looking man. Anyway, Les, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And he's got that like, the I'm gonna save you type of vibe with, being a homicide detective. You just feel safe with him. I know, Ashley, I'm horrible. Am I horrible? I'm horrible, but he is. Whatever. I don't care. And thank you so much again, Les. That was so nice of you. And welcome to all the new members. I'm so excited to have you guys here. And Dizzy has made the most amazing emojis for members. I can't even get over how great Dizzy is. So shout out to Dizzy as well for making these emojis for members. Okay. So, Simi, see, I can't put them up here. That's the only problem. I want to go I want to pin it. All right. So nobody in Kim Porter's family knew Courtney Burgess at all. Yet he claims she gave him this memoir, these videos. Fine. So he's made the false claim numerous times to the press and in social media appearances. They talk about, so it is Sean Atwood. And they mentioned that he has almost 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. And he elaborated on the quote unquote false claim that he received all the materials directly from Kim Porter. So on that same broadcast, Burgess falsely claimed that Miss Porter enlisted the help of a music industry mutual acquaintance to put her files in Burgess's hands. Specifically, Burgess claimed that this individual called Burgess and told him, "I've got something for you. Kim told me to give you something. She's got something she wants you to work with." Burgess went on to claim, again, falsely, that the same individual later met Burgess in New York and delivered him the first of several flash drives containing the memoir and videos that Miss Porter supposedly intended for him to have, even though, according to Burgess, Miss Porter had no more than a passing acquaintance with Burgess. So, okay. And by the way, I am reading, directly from the lawsuit here. So that's interesting. And I remember he talked about, a third party getting involved at one point. Now, obviously, this is going back to last fall when he was doing all of these appearances. But now let's get to the Justin Bieber part of this lawsuit, because I was waiting for Justin Bieber to be mentioned. I'm actually going to update this banner so we can make sure, yes, that Justin Bieber has now entered the chat. Okay. During the interview, Atwood had posted still images that Burgess insinuated had come from the videos that Burgess falsely claimed Miss Porter had provided to him. They described one as depicting Justin Bieber, a famous recording artist, kissing an unidentified male. Atwood asks, "Is this picture legit?" Burgess responded, "Yes, definitely." Then asked Burgess, "How freaked were you the first time you got a look at some of the images? Shocker or what?" And Burgess responds that he was freaked out because his daughter was a listener of Justin Bieber. You understand? So going back to some statement analysis, that's not really an answer. Yeah, that's not really an answer. That's kind of just sort of dodging the question. Cool, your daughter listened to Justin Bieber and that's what freaks you out about this? I don't think so. Sorry, I'm going back to the chat. What is Maybe a Jarrett for what you're so funny making a Jarrett. You love Jarrett, Timmy. It's so funny. I love calling you out for that. So fun. Okay, sorry. Back to Bieber. So he says, yeah, my daughter was a listener of Justin Bieber. You understand? And then Burgess stated that Bieber was a child at the time. And then Burgess characterized Bieber as, quote, a victim who, quote, loved being treated like that. And that's what happens sometimes when you're a kid, end quote. That's from the lawsuit. What? You're saying Justin Bieber as a child, like he said Justin Bieber as a child loved being treated like that? Like what? Like exploited? If you're claiming that he's kissing another unidentified male in a photo when, again, he was a minor, how could he love that? I mean, what? Anyway. And okay, Burgess went on to compare Mr. Combs to, quote, Lucifer, claiming that Mr. Combs, like Lucifer, quote, destroyed bodies. He destroys careers. He can get you where you want to be at, but you're going to give up the back end. Oh, sorry. You're going to give up the back end. Sorry. So this interview, I know, I'm so sorry. It's not me. It was a creepy sentence. It's not me. This interview came from Sean Atwood's YouTube. So, I mean, I could pull it up, but I think that, you know, we're getting part of the transcript here in this lawsuit. So, yeah, I mean, and look, I remember being super duper. I just said duper again. Dang it. Sorry. I was super disturbed when I think it was on Chris Cuomo, Suge Knight. And listen, I don't think what Suge Knight says is like factual, and I take everything he says as, you know, gospel. But Suge Knight went on Cuomo and made some really, really gross allegations. Now, raise your hand if you remember the egg test that he talked about. Do you guys remember the egg test? If you don't, trigger warning when I tell you what he said this was. And by the way, Suge said this egg test actually started with Russell Simmons. Yes, it was Russell Simmons. And then that he learned it from Clive Davis. That's what Suge claimed. Looking at the chat. Okay, Carrie, you remember. Les, do you remember? Oh, Caleb, you remember. Okay, so you all kind of remember. Does anybody not remember? I should probably just say what it is anyway. Suge, he alleged that Diddy used to follow in the footsteps of these men, and he would determine whether an artist, a male artist specifically, was ready to sign with him. And guys, I don't believe this, by the way. I'm just saying. He would determine this by making them stick an egg up their butt. And if the egg broke, you weren't ready to be signed because you hadn't put the work in yet, if you know what I mean. Or well, there, Caleb, there, you said it. Okay. The egg breaks, you're not ready for the Diddy party. Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah, I have no words for that. Do you guys believe that? I mean, I know that crazy things happen, and I know it's crazy, but like, I cannot imagine that somebody wants it that bad. Okay. And maybe I'm being naive, and that's just my opinion. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it that you're going to stick an egg up your butt, and then if it breaks, you got to continue to work harder with your butt? I mean, come on. I don't know. Unless somebody comes to me and says, I did the egg test. I don't know. I don't believe it. I mean, is Meek Mill going to tell us that he did the egg test? I don't know. I don't know. I know. Listen, it is so specific. I know. I don't understand. Somebody come forward and tell us if you did this. I need to know. I won't share who you are. Please, I promise you. Anyway. Okay, let's go back to Bieber, Lucifer. Okay. Yeah. So Burgess called him Lucifer and said that Diddy will get you where you want to be at, but you're going to give up the back end. Right. And Ashley, you're right. You never know. You never, ever know. Booty can't break the egg or you are fired. Allegedly. Or you never had this, you were never going to get signed, I guess, regardless if you broke the egg. So you had to work harder, not get fired, so to speak. But yeah. Yep. Oh, stop, 6. I feel like those are fake. The Meek Mill audio. Were those fake? Or I feel like when I saw it on Twitter, they had a disclaimer saying, these have been ripped from like Pornhub. You guys know what I'm trying to say, or something like that. But anyway, all right. Burgess also commented on an image that appeared to depict Mr. Combs with his arm around an adult woman's shoulder. And it was falsely suggested that the photograph evidenced sexual misconduct with minors. And Burgess said, quote, yeah, it's just disturbing how the number of people who appear to be underage in all of these things, I think that's probably what we're going to see on these superseding indictments. It's got to be, man. It keeps coming back to the underage thing again and again. It's terrifying. End quote. I mean, yeah, it's interesting because it did keep going back to minors. And I mean, I don't know. There was no superseding indictment except for the fact that we saw the additional Mann Act violation charges, a few months down the line. But will there be another indictment? I don't know. There have been rumors, right? We've all heard the rumors. There's another indictment coming. Diddy's being reinvestigated. I mean, says who? I will absolutely believe it when I see it, number one. And number two, I've had people come to me and tell me something and say, this is from a super credible source, and it's never happened. And that doesn't mean it's never going to happen. And I'm not necessarily talking about Diddy. I'm just talking about in general. But like, there's something that somebody told me about this one arrest in this other case that I was kind of covering. And I was really excited about this arrest. And it's been months and it hasn't happened. And so, and this source like had this knowledge on good authority. So that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of like, until it happens, yeah, I don't know. And yeah, of course, they could be starting a new investigation right now as we speak. But yeah, who knows? So, okay. On the same broadcast, Burgess insinuated falsely that talking about Mr. Combs and the fake memoir and the videos put his life in danger. So he also described his efforts to market the fake Kim Porter memoir on Amazon, which he initially gave the ghoulish title, Kim's Lost Words. It's more about Kim's family putting out statements. So in September of 2024, Kim Porter's children as a whole, so all of her 4 children, released a statement saying, claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. So after the book was denounced by the kids as fake, Amazon pulled it from the website on October 3rd, 2024. I don't think I knew this. Subsequently, Burgess marketed another book, equally false and equally defamatory, called Kim Porter, Tell It All, on a different website. And he described the second version as R-rated in contrast to the earlier PG version of the, quote, fake memoir. Now, I want to ask everyone in the chat, do you guys, do you believe Courtney Burgess at all? Do you believe that Kim Porter gave him information about this memoir? I think I did believe it at the time. I think I really did. I guess I had no reason not to believe it. I I think I'm getting smarter as a human being. And again, I just go back to just being in the courtroom, you know, at that trial and how I thought it was going to go one way. Yeah, I just don't know though how you make something up out of thin air, right? I think we had talked about this. There can be truth to certain statements. It can be exaggerated, but like, where did this come from? How did he just pull this out of his ass? Like it's an egg. I'm just kidding. But like literally, how? It had to have come from somewhere. I'm just trying to figure that out. Yeah. So, all right, back to the suit. Upon information and belief, sometime in or around September 2024, that's when Diddy got arrested, Burgess contacted Mitchell to team up with a lawyer in an attempt to legitimize and or profit from his, quote, outrageous lies. And, you know, this makes sense because I do feel like when Diddy got arrested, I felt like people felt like they were safe to come forward. So a lot of people started coming out and filing more of these civil suits because, again, he was in jail and he was charged. So I think people felt safe and they truly did not think that he was ever going to come back from this. That's what I believe, because again, we all listened to the same people in the media. We saw the same headlines. So who would have thought that, you know, Diddy would end up seeing freedom most likely at before 20 years, right? I mean, I don't think any of us saw that. So, oh, you bought the book? There are things in it that you cannot make up. That's interesting. I think he lied about who he got it from, but the book is insane. But like, where would he get this information? I guess like where I don't know. Like if he wasn't actually friends with her, he must have been friends with this middleman or something. Okay, Kimora Lee Simmons. Do we know who the middleman was? Do you guys know? I feel like I knew it at some point or I heard a name, but I can't recall in the moment right now. Okay, so in connection, okay, so now they're talking about Ariel Mitchell Kidd and her unreliable reputation, and they bring in Trey Songz. So in connection with one such representation, in or around 2021, Mitchell brought a lawsuit against plaintiff Diddy and the celebrity musician Trey Songz on behalf of a woman claiming sexual assault by Trey Songz. Oh, I remember this. Plaintiff was dismissed as a defendant from that lawsuit in its early stages. But in 2022, a witness testified in that lawsuit that Mitchell tried to bribe her to lie about witnessing the purported assault and being assaulted herself. In connection with those allegations of professional misconduct, 3 complaints were filed with the Florida bar accusing Mitchell of engaging in witness tampering. Now, I'm sure she has something to say and explain, you know, about this, as most people have a counter argument about claims made against them. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. In addition, on or about February 15th, 2022, Trey Songz' lawyer publicly filed a motion for sanctions against Mitchell, seeking dismissal of her client's lawsuit. The court, hearing that sanctions motion, ultimately declined to award sanctions, characterizing the evidence before it as a, quote, classic she said versus she said scenario. The court did not resolve the ultimate factual issue of the bribe, but the court noted, quote, it does not speak on behalf of the Florida bar. Thereafter, the Florida bar filed a complaint against Mitchell, arising out of the complaints that she had attempted to bribe a witness to corroborate these allegations of sexual assault against a celebrity, and the Florida bar concluded that Mitchell had violated multiple rules of professional conduct with respect to truthfulness in statements to others, dishonesty, fraud, deceit, or misrepresentation. Okay. You know, I do wish, though, when they are citing this stuff in these lawsuits, I do wish they would attach exhibits. Like, the complaints from the Florida bar that we could see. You know what I mean? I really wish, that was a thing. So they actually bring up, I'm just forwarding through this a little bit. They also talk about how she brought a $20 million lawsuit against Chris Brown on behalf of a woman claiming that Brown raped her after Brown posted a series of text messages and voicemails reflecting a consensual relationship with the plaintiff. Mitchell withdrew. That's interesting. I feel like I heard about that too, and I sort of just didn't pay attention. But I do feel like Chris Brown's got a terrible reputation, and so she probably saw something, and I do feel bad for the woman that brought those claims. If she felt embarrassed or coerced at all, I do feel bad for her. So okay, now after filing the lawsuit, Mitchell launched a media tour, and this is after I skipped that. 2024, she filed a lawsuit against Mr. Combs on behalf of an adult entertainer who alleged that she had been trafficked by Combs, but this lawsuit did not involve any allegations of hidden cameras or involving minors. And then they talked about how she went on a media tour. She's brought at least 2 other lawsuits against Combs, blah, 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 blah. All right. They're talking about News Nation, how they went in studio multiple times. Let me see. Oh, when they talk about these tapes. So this is September of 2024. Mitchell stated, quote, "There have already been tapes leaking around Hollywood being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood." Presumably referencing Burgess or one of his affiliates, Mitchell continued, "One particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became public knowledge." I forgot about that. Where's this video? Does anyone know? Seriously. Now I'm like, okay, now I remember. Where is this video? We all thought it was going to come out during the trial. This celebrity sex tape video in particular. It didn't. Interesting. Okay. She made more false statements. It doesn't seem like these people know they're being videotaped. And Diddy's lawsuit is saying she never possessed recorded or pornographic images involving Mr. Combs and any celebrity. No celebrities were able to confirm the existence of any such video of Mr. Combs. And thus she knew that her statements were false when she made them. Let's see what else. I mean, everything else we've sort of covered here. Oh, this part I think is interesting. So this goes back to, where is it? Okay. I believe this is pertaining to Ashley Parham's lawsuit, something that happened in 2018. So there were claims that, let me see. I'm trying to figure out how to word this without, I'll just read it. Okay. So Mitchell falsely represented that her clients fabricated claims, and this is from a California 2018 lawsuit / allegations. She claimed there was a police report that was made in 2018. So later in the interview, it says the News Nation host repeated Mitchell's assertion, emphasizing the purported police reports corroborating her client's claim, saying, like, you guys actually have one. And then the host, who I think was Banfield, said, are we going to be able to see it? And then it says, Mitchell falsely confirmed that she would produce the report. She told the News Nation host, yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. So these statements in which Mitchell claimed on News Nation to possess a police report corroborating her client's fabricated allegations were false. And then they're saying News Nation knew they were false or recklessly disregarded their falsity, excuse me. So it then goes on and says the actual police report, which Mitchell's client filed approximately 1 month after the March 2018 date in question, stated that Mitchell's client was tragically raped by a man named Shane Pierce and another white man. The actual police report does not mention Mr. Combs, who is Black. Mitchell's client publicly filed the actual report together with a sworn statement confirming its substance. So that is Ashley Parham. And Shane Pierce, that I couldn't remember his name, but she actually slept at his house, I guess, that night after she claimed she was attacked. And she sort of explained when she was asked about this, why she decided to sleep at her attacker's house. I think she said she was like drugged and exhausted and she was just out of it. So she decided to sleep there. So that's really interesting. I did not realize that Diddy's name was never on this police report. And this again was allegedly where she said she FaceTimed with Diddy's mother saying, don't go to the police, don't go to the police. I mean, does it mean that it didn't happen or he wasn't involved? No, it doesn't mean that necessarily. But unfortunately, if he's not in the police report that you are alleging is a huge piece of evidence in this case, I feel like it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter because this goes back to the whole like Kid Cudi thing. We could probably figure out, that Diddy was responsible for Kid Cudi's car, most likely, or he gave the instruction, but police can't prove that. They did a really bad job investigating that on paper. So here we are, right? Bye, Afton. Thanks for being here. So that's really interesting. So roughly 2 weeks after the News Nation broadcast, Mitchell filed the lawsuit she had previewed. Contrary to her false assertions, the lawsuit did not attach any police report, presumably because the events described in the actual police report did not involve Mr. Combs at all and bear absolutely no resemblance to these outlandish tales of premeditated, violent gang rape that spun the complaint in which Mitchell filed. Subsequently, the Walnut Creek Police Department denied having any involvement in the allegations made by Mitchell's client. And the Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office released a statement that they had thoroughly invested the accusations and determined that the claims were unfounded. This lawsuit must have gotten dismissed. Hold on. I'm just making sure I know. Yeah, this was dismissed. Wow. This was dismissed, Ashley Parham's lawsuit, because the reason they are stating, it says, sorry, I just lost my spot. Okay. Oh, they're saying she didn't serve him the lawsuit in time. That seems so insane. Like you put all of this work into this lawsuit and you just don't meet a deadline of serving somebody when the dates are usually all there for you. And that's definitely on one's lawyer. Okay, but interesting. Yeah, by law, Ashley Parham had to serve Combs and 2 other co-defendants within 90 days of her complaint. And she didn't. And then, they extended it. And yeah, nothing happened. Ariel Mitchell told KTVU in an interview that she's having a hard time serving Combs the paperwork despite making several attempts. Multiple attorneys have had this problem. You can refuse mail in jail. She also said it's not easy to just hire a process server and send them to jail to issue these lawsuits. She said she isn't worried the case will be thrown out. I think it was. Okay. I mean, is that true? Because I do feel like he's been served a lot of lawsuits while in jail. I don't know. That's just me. But yeah, this lawsuit's not a thing anymore. That's really interesting. And the Walnut Creek police said, nope, we have nothing to do with it. It says the actual police report, by the way, was publicly available at the time News Nation and Mitchell published their false statements about it and the events it describes. Mitchell's client had filed the actual police report along with a statement under penalty of perjury, confirming allegations that did not involve Mr. Combs at all, nor anyone who could be mistaken to be Mr. Combs in connection with the domestic violence proceeding on or about July 8th, 2019, 5 years before they talked about this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I mean, oh, now they're mentioning Banfield and Burgess talking about testifying before a grand jury, saying that he's in possession of a trove of digital evidence of Diddy's freak-offs and parties, right, that we never saw. Never saw these. We only saw videos from Cassie and Jane that were given to the government. Geez. On those drives, he said 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-off parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. They won't be naming them because they're famous. And then, you know, the lawsuit says the host knew that it was false or recklessly disregarded. And although the host observed that Burgess had testified before the grand jury, the segment did not describe those grand jury proceedings, nor could it. As commonly known, grand jury proceedings are secret, right? That's what I said. Why would he go on there and boast about that? That's so weird. Why would he be able to do that? I find that very odd. More about the false claims, Kim Porter. Yeah. Oh, they're talking about Mitchell's lies in the documentary, The Making of a Bad Boy, that aired on Peacock. So more of her saying, talking about these sex tapes with celebrities. You know, I didn't watch that one, so I guess I didn't realize how kind of far this went. And it's just that, you know, and she didn't even stop there. She continued to lend credence to Burgess's lies, asserting that Mr. Combs took these videos himself. Okay. Yeah, I guess this is sort of all pretty much the same. Yeah. Let me just make sure I went through most of it. I had a summary that I had typed out before as well. That's what I was reading from at the beginning before I went directly into the lawsuit. But yeah, the defendants have not publicly responded yet. And I don't necessarily know if I would expect them to. I mean, I guess we'll see. I really do feel like they will settle for sure. But I do want to see the Florida bar complaint against Ariel Mitchell. I'll probably look for that. And yeah, I mean, this is crazy. Like this is crazy because I forgot that all of this stuff really stemmed from Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell about the sex tapes, the minors, all of that stuff. Crazy. Does anyone else have anything about this? I'm just like, wow. Forgot about all of this. Yeah. And this is, let me go to the last page just for you guys to see. Let's see. Because you'll see that he is seeking $100 million. Where is it? Listen, he got a lot of people to pay. A lot of people to pay out right now. Holy moly. Yeah. $100 million demand for a jury trial. And yeah, his lawyers for this case, Michael Tremonte, or Tremont, I don't know how to pronounce that. You guys know I suck at pronunciating words. And Erica A. Wolf. Yeah, I don't know them, but interesting. I will have to look them up. Sean G has a video on the floor. Oh, okay. I'll look that up too. I want to see the actual complaint. I'm very interested. Very, very interested in that. Yeah, sorry. I guess I mean, I haven't seen anyone come out into the media, you know, making a statement, and I'm sure that their lawyers have said not to. I don't know about Ariel Mitchell. I just mean like I want them to address this. And, you know, I understand how news works, right? These segments, and when you're producing a segment, you know, news is crazy because it's like there's breaking news. You only have as much information that you have available, I guess, as a producer. I think it's tough for producers to go and sort of, call the police departments and FOIA request this and FOIA request that, or whatever has to be done for like a 5 to 8 minute segment. I just don't think that they have the time for that. So I would think that they have, certain, I guess, protections in place because of this, but maybe not. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, you're right. He is worth a lot of money. I'm just thinking about what he's spent, gosh, in the last year. And yes, Xavier, I totally agree. This is what I try to do. I really do try, but like, just off topic, but like even yesterday when I'm at this hearing in the Bronx and the mother of this 14-year-old boy who was just murdered is crying. I've got my press badge on. I'm sitting there with like 3 other people. I just couldn't help it. I hugged her. I went over there and she only speaks Spanish. So I felt like a dumbass. I was like, hug you. Like I was just like trying to like give, whatever. And I hugged her and my eyes started watering. And I was like, shit, this is not journalism. Sorry. So I feel like, yes, totally agree with you. We do have to start thinking with our brains, not our feelings. But I get, there's certain times that I'm so bad. I am so bad. And I don't mean like bad, but you know what I mean? Like if somebody was there for the defendants, for the 2 teens that were in the courtroom, they would say like, oh, she's not a journalist. Look at her. She's hugging the family. She's not going to report on this fairly. And hey, I wouldn't blame them for saying that or thinking that because of I just hugged a victim's mother. I would not think that I was going to report fairly at all. But yeah, so can't help it. Yeah. And thank you. Thank you so much. And yes, I am human, but I guess I wouldn't blame somebody if they saw me do that and they're like, you don't use your brain, you use your heart or whatever. But I try not to. I do try not to. So yeah. Oh, thanks, Harlem. Thank you so much. So I'm interested. I want to follow this lawsuit. I want to follow the hearings. I mean, let me actually look at the docket really quick because I actually didn't look through the docket. I just grabbed this lawsuit and then court listener. It's not working. So annoying. I cannot do things on the fly. I am that person that tenses up when, the pressure's on and I'm like trying to find something. I'm that person that's like not good under pressure. Aw, thanks guys. That's really nice. I appreciate you. Yeah, there have been certain cases. I think when it involves murder, mothers, children, those are definitely the cases where I have a hard time being unbiased. I really have a hard time. I just can't help it. I just can't help it. So I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, am I a hypocrite in that sense? I hope I'm not a hypocrite, but I mean, I wouldn't blame somebody if they called me one because yeah. Okay. Finally, the website is showing up. Sean Combs. I'll just type that in. Actually, Dizzy, have you seen the docket for this? Maybe I should just you're usually so quick on this stuff. If you want to post the docket, I do just want to see if they have any hearings coming up. Oh, the NBC one is better? Oh, okay. We should go over that on the next live. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, totally agree. Yes. Hard time with cases involving children. Luckily, so far, the Diddy case does not involve any children. And that Ava Combs thing where they said, he adopted Ava Combs, this girl, on this dumb old TikTok video. I guess this girl did ballet with his twin daughters a few years ago. And then, he came out and they said this was a joke. He was never going to adopt this girl. It was silly. It just wasn't, he wasn't serious. I kept going back to look at that video and dude, it looks like AI. Like his eye is like so weird. And this is my right eye. My right eye it's this eye. Sorry, my left eye. It does something weird sometimes where I've seen my eye look like I have like a lazy eye. I don't know why, but like in this video, Diddy's eyes look so weird that it just looks like AI. And I don't understand why nobody has kind of pointed that out when they were covering that Ava Combs stupid story. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, you can't find it. It is so weird. Okay, same. It doesn't come up, and this is SDNY. That's what I don't understand. Let me put Nexstar in the docket to see if that helps. Oh wait, I found it. Hold on. It's Combs versus Burgess. Okay. Yes, here we go. Okay, found it. Let me post this. Yeah, I mean, maybe he was high, but trust me, his eye looked super weird. It looked more than just that. It looked like it was like a different shape or like I don't know. It was just weird. So let me go down. Okay, the amended complaint. That's what okay, motion for oral argument. This was let me share this. Remove. Okay. This was from Nexstar. Dear Judge Cronin, we represent Nexstar Media and the above referenced action. We write on behalf of Nexstar to request oral argument on a date and at a time designated by the court on Nexstar's motion to dismiss the coerced complaint, which Nexstar filed today. Yeah. Okay. So it says plaintiff's opposition to Nexstar's motion to dismiss is due on September 9th, 2025, and Nexstar's reply is due on September 30th, 2025. Okay. I mean, like, what do you feel about News Nation and Nexstar? Do you think they are at fault for any of this? I mean, I'm thinking about it. Their headlines weren't conclusive, right? It said could involve minors. Could, didn't say do. But should there be disclaimers, right? Should there be disclaimers on the news now, which is so weird to think about because, at one point watching the news, it was factual news. This is what happened. This is that, whatever. Fine. Now you can have people on the news making allegations. And that could be okay, I guess, if there's a disclaimer, if there's something that might say that, I don't know. I don't know how I would feel if somebody went on a show making unverified or unprosecuted allegations against me. I would invite the other party on for sure, which I'm sure News Nation did. However, this was complicated. Diddy was, he was under indictment. He had been arrested and charged for some very serious things. And I don't think, I think they made the right decision by not speaking out. Right. However, what if he was found guilty? Then what would happen? You know what I mean? Like that would be bad. That would be bad. And then I don't know. So yeah. I think that if you're going to put out things like this, you should have a disclaimer. And my first investigative podcast, actually, it's called Corruption: What Happened to Grant Solomon. I was very green when I did this podcast, and I was very, very overzealous, very biased, very stupid, but I had disclaimers all over it. I now even have a disclaimer recording if you listen to the podcast right before every episode, just to make it clear that, you know, these are my personal opinions and thoughts based on what I've done, and you should not take them conclusively as fact. So, yeah, that's sort of where I'm at. And I feel like it's really important because I think that I know what happened. I believe that XYZ happened to this person. I believe what I was told, but you might not. It might not be true, right? Like I just know that I believe it based on my research. So yeah, we can all be wrong. But anyway, let me see if there's anything else there. Am I still sharing this? Yes, I'm still sharing this. Okay. Just making sure. Okay, so yeah, the last thing we have here is the amended complaint that I just showed. What's this? Letter motion for leave to file USB drive. Okay. Yeah. So Nexstar is all over this right now. All over this. I got to check this on Pacer later. That's for sure. Oh, I can look at Mitchell's response. Let me see. Do you guys know when hers was filed? Was it back in the, who is this? Let me see. Oh no, that's Diddy's, another one of his responses. Okay, here we go. This is Mitchell Kidd. Oh, I think she's just, yeah, that's just a, yeah, nope. Where was her response? Oh crap, I might not be able to get it because it's on Pacer, and I'll have to switch over there. But this is the motion to dismiss from Nexstar. But there's nothing crazy in there. Huh. Yeah. All right. So, end of July? I didn't see that. Oh, wait. No, that was just, yeah, it's not in there. So I can check Pacer and we can definitely go over that later. But I did want to also just give an update on Luigi Mangione and what's going on with his case. So let me switch here. I think I let me find it on my Twitter. I'm going to search it. Because I put the file there from last week, the prosecutor's response to the allegations that the defense made about them violating HIPAA. So let's see. Oh gosh, Lauren Conlin. I can never find my own tweets. I should have had these prepared. My bad. Ew. Why is Taylor Lawrence on? Oh, sorry. I'm just not a fan of her. She just popped up on my Twitter. I just think she's so mean to everybody. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to share this tab. So basically, here's the situation right now. And you know what? I can make this a little bit bigger. Oh my gosh, you guys are Luigi apologists. No. I mean, you can think whatever you want, totally whatever you want. I respect it. I should play a video for you though from February when I was outside of the courthouse for one of the hearings, what I endured from some of his supporters and what they said to me. And granted, I was kind of trolling just a little bit. But yeah, I should play you part of that after because some of these girls, I was like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. So, okay, quickly. So what happened here with Luigi is the prosecution, and this is the state case, by the way. This is Manhattan DA's office. This is not the federal case at all. But they filed a motion, or they filed a request, not a motion, sorry, with Aetna. And they claim they wanted dates. They wanted, just to ensure that Luigi was not covered by United Healthcare, and that they wanted like his ID, his member ID, just like stupid stuff like that. And Aetna ended up sending back something like over 120 pages of his private medical records, his medical history, things that the prosecution, should not have. So the prosecution claimed that when they got these records, they destroyed them. They did not look at them. And this was Aetna's fault. This was a total error by Aetna. They had nothing to do with this. They were not being, unscrupulous. They were not trying to like pull the wool over anyone's eyes. I mean, the defense, Luigi's team, was saying, well, unbeknownst to the court, you requested this information. We did not know you were going to request it. And the prosecution is like, no, the court knew we were going to request it. And they went back once again to say, this is not our fault that Aetna sent all of this stuff over. So again, they are arguing that Luigi's rights were not harmed as a defendant. Any records were sent back or destroyed. And they're just sort of blaming the defense on, I guess, overblowing this whole thing as an attempt to delay the case. They want sanctions, the defense says, and they want charges dropped because, they just think that the prosecution has an edge on them now for seeing some of these medical records, and that is unlawful. So the prosecution also says that HIPAA doesn't bar all law enforcement access to health data in serious crimes like murder. So if they really wanted to go ahead and fight this, I think that they could. And I mean, right, exactly. Like Lucas, I'm not saying that. Like, yeah, Lucas says he's not guilty of murder because they got his medical records. No, they're basically saying that they did this in an unlawful way and they violated HIPAA, which, listen, we know that if a defendant's rights are violated in any way, that everything can just go out the window, whether you're guilty or not, whether there is video evidence of you doing something, right? If a juror admits to watching the news, I mean, that's a mistrial. It's just like, it doesn't matter. It's crazy. So, and Sherry, totally. How do we know the records were destroyed or never looked at? Right. We don't. And if I'm going to give some kind of opinion on this, I mean, I would look for any chance, people that know me, to sort of crap on DA Alvin Bragg. I think he's horrible. I think he's soft on crime. I just don't, I think he gets giddy prosecuting white people. I think he literally loves it. I literally think he gets an erection when a serious crime occurs and the dude is white. So that's how I feel. But I also feel like with the defense, this might be like a nothing burger. They're saying all this stuff. They want charges dropped, sanctions, this and that. I mean, I don't know if that's necessary. However, I know why they have to do this, right? This is their job to do this. And also, I kind of think they want their client's name in the media. I think that Luigi does so well in the media and he has so many supporters that, when you go to pick a jury pool, of course, the jury is going to say, most likely, yes, I've seen this in the news. And most likely, if they either want to be on the jury or they're just being honest, they're going to either say, yes, I can be fair and impartial after seeing this on the news, or no, I don't think I can be fair and impartial. So again, I think this goes back to the defense wanting their client's name out in the public, because I have also said this. I could see a New York jury exercising juror nullification here, which is like where they would admit to, like, saying, yes, we think he did it, but we're not going to convict him because the healthcare system is so broken and this needed to, they're going to say whatever. I could see that happening. And I think that is kind of terrifying, I think, for us as a society. And not to be not to joke around, but I don't know if it was on this stream or maybe on, I think it maybe was with Steve, Publicly Buzzed. Yes. And Bob from Defense Diaries. We were talking and I was like, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I just don't think that you can just go around and kill someone in cold blood because, because you don't agree with the healthcare system or whatever. But then I was like, but I don't really blame a parent if they, and this sounds horrible, I guess I'm less mad if a parent gets revenge on somebody that does something to their child or to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I think pedophiles deserve the firing squad or to be stoned in a public square, hung, strung up. I'm sorry. I don't want to incite violence, but like, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for them. So I don't want to be a hypocrite at all. I don't. Again, I just think we're going down a dangerous path if we're saying, yeah, Luigi did us all a favor by gunning this man down in cold blood. I just don't think that you can't say that. That is not okay. And we will be living in the purge. All right. And I, for one, don't want to live in the purge. I don't want it to be okay for this type of stuff to happen. Yeah, that's just me. But yeah. So, okay. Right, Sherry, like Aaron Spencer, this man, he gunned down a man. And this is crazy. Aaron Spencer, just to, I know we're talking about Luigi, but Aaron Spencer is a parent, and a man was, he had been arrested and charged, not convicted yet, for graping his 14-year-old daughter, maybe 13. And this man was 67 years old. I mean, ew, you have no effing business. Ugh, my God, disgusting. So, he's charged. There's I don't even know if there's a restraining order. I'm not even sure. But either way, this man, this 67-year-old man, while he's charged with this, he ends up picking up Aaron Spencer's daughter one night and taking her. And she, again, is maybe 13, 14 years old. The dad and the mom, her parents, figure it out. And the dad runs in his truck with his gun out looking for them. This guy raped his daughter and he took her. So he finds them, he kind of runs them off the road and he's like, get out of the car, give me my kid. And he doesn't. So Aaron Spencer shoots him and he dies. I think, to be fair, he shot him multiple times. I don't have the affidavit. So maybe if there was like that kill shot where he shoots him once and then he goes up to him and shoots him again, I don't know. Whatever. But I'm kind of like, what parent wouldn't do that for their kid, right? And now this guy it's awful. So again, I just always want to, I want to just point out when I feel like I could be being a hypocrite. I'm not trying to be, I'm just saying, like, I just think that it's dangerous. And I just don't want there to be any copycats with Luigi. We've already seen this crazy guy with, the NFL building and Blackstone and how certain people were putting up images of the woman who was killed from, I think it was maybe KPMG or Blackstone, whatever. And they were saying, oh, good, another CEO. It's like, what is wrong with you? Literally, what is wrong with you? Yeah, that was horrible. So, yes, back to Luigi. So basically, there have been no oral arguments here just yet. Judge Caro hasn't made any type of decision on this. So, I mean, a judge could rule on the defense's motion to suppress evidence or impose sanctions, or he could be like, it's not a big deal. Now, what I'm going to predict, just from knowing Judge Caro, you guys have heard me talk about Judge Caro. He just released the crypto kidnappers on bail, right? He did. And again, he was my judge for jury duty, and he yelled at a potential juror who said they couldn't be fair and impartial to the defendants because they were attacked. And I mean, he didn't just yell at this guy. He like screamed and humiliated this guy. And so he really wants the defendants to get a fair trial, this guy, Judge Caro. So let me just make sure. So the next I have on my calendar, because I'm going to go, the next state hearing for Mangione, let me see. State hearing is September 16th at 9 a.m. Well, it's never at 9 a.m., but yeah. So I'll be going to that, but I'm going to keep a close eye on the docket to see if they're going to push up a hearing for arguments. I mean, who knows? I have no idea. But this, yeah, things are not going the same way with the federal case. It seems like the federal case is going pretty smoothly. He was just granted a laptop in the MDC to work on his case. So they've loaded all of the discovery onto the laptop, but he doesn't have internet. So he can't date. Sorry, guys. Can't date online. But really quick, let me see if I can just find that video. It's pretty short, I want to say, but it was pretty crazy. I think I put it on Instagram and TikTok. Lauren Conlon for... Okay. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. So I just asked her, I'll make myself smaller because it just fast forwarded just a little bit. I asked her, why are you here? And that's my little baby Mike, and I love it. So anyway.
More healthcare executives should be assassinated.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What?
I think Luigi should be exonerated, and I think that our system has to be razed to the ground and be recreated, and that doesn't happen gradually and asking politely.
What? You think he didn't do it? Yeah, I thought that. Oh, this lady's, oh my gosh. Okay, so I actually felt bad for this lady. She was really nice, really sweet lady, but I don't know if she was all there. Because I said, you think he didn't do it? And she's like, yeah, I have evidence he didn't do it. I know, Dizzy, how could you forget this lady? She blamed something called an Egyptian scarab. This is what, sorry, I'll just play the video. It's really short. I don't know why I keep stopping. Sorry.
Evidence that he didn't do it.
Wait, what's the evidence he didn't do it?
I have,
what is this?
Something about the Egyptian scarab. And that's where they got the slogan from.
The deny, delay.
It came from an Egyptian scarab.
What's that?
It's a bug. Like, it's, you know, it's that beetle, and it's got like the wings on it.
The bug.
Okay. Yeah, it's got 3 Ds on it.
Okay, the Egyptian magician, it says there, but what does this have to do with deny, delay, defend? I'm very, well, then who do you think did it?
An Egyptian.
Do you think he's innocent, or do you support what he did? Oh, this lady hated me.
Making any judgment as guilt or innocence. Whoever committed the act.
Then why are you supporting him?
Whoever committed the act.
Okay.
I am in support of that person, having made me refocus my energies on outing these CEOs who are sucking the blood out of the masses.
I think that he's innocent. He's allegedly accused of murdering somebody, but I think what's more important is the cause and the messaging that is brought out for all of the masses that transcend racial, party lines, political lines, class lines.
So, but what does it have to do with race or class?
Because what he allegedly did, what he explicates in his manifesto, are unifying ideas.
What? Sorry, that bothered me so much when she was like, she gave me this look and she's like, did you literally see that? She's like, I'm like, what? I'm just asking you, what about Luigi Mangione's actions are racially unifying? I literally was so confused. And I actually, Dizzy, I think you were there for this live, but that one lady that was wearing the shirt that said like Cougars for Luigi, I think she wanted to kill me. I was like going deep because all of them were so stupidly contradicting themselves that I was just like, I don't understand. You support his actions, but you're saying he didn't do it. You guys make literally no effing sense at all. I am just so confused here. God, that was so weird. So I have to say, like, I know that the hearing is going to be so crazy. I better get inside of the courtroom. But like, if I don't get inside, I mean, listen, I most likely will. If I don't, at least I know I will get some really good content outside. I mean, and I don't know, I think after a while, Dizzy, you remember, I had to go. I was like, okay, people are catching on to me, and these people are unhinged. They are unhinged, and I'm running around being a little jerk off. And so they were starting to be a little weird to me. And it was freezing. You saw I had gloves on. My hands were so cold. Oh my gosh, I dread the winter. Also, if you are interested in the Luigi Mangione case and you do have Fox Nation, you should watch the doc that I did, because I'm actually really proud of myself. I thought I did really good work on, and I'm like, sorry, I'm like, I don't say things about my work very often. I'm always just very self-deprecating, but I was really happy with the work I did on the Mangione case before he was arrested. So I retraced his steps. I went to the hostel. As soon as the shooting happened, I went right down to the Hilton. I was asking questions. I mean, those of you that followed me then, I think I was taking my daughter to like a birthday on the Upper West Side. And I was like, we just need to make one stop. We're just going to stop at the hostel. And she's like, what? She was so annoyed. She's 9. And so we go in the hostel. I'm asking questions and I'm kind of like filming. And she literally was like, Mom, nobody wants to talk to you. Literally nobody. You're so embarrassing. And I'm like, I know, right? Like nobody wants to, but like, we're still going to try. We're still going to do it. So I think on my Instagram, I had just it was sort of like a preview for that. It's called Deny, Delay, Defend, or Delay. I don't even know anymore. God, it's been so long. Those 3 words. Let me see if I can show you guys the quick little, okay, here it is. All right, I'll share this really fast, and then I'll put, thank you so much, Dizzy. I'll put the link up too, because this is about this. I think the doc is only like 40 minutes, but it had some really great commentary from experts. And I remember watching some of their commentary being like, wow, that's a really good point for when this goes to trial. I really felt like, yeah, they had a lot of good things to say. Okay, so this was in Manhattan. I'll try to restart it. This is the trailer.
Before the sun came up.
A smiling surveillance photo.
There are over 3,000 cameras in Manhattan. He had to be caught on more than what we're seeing. I'm a Manhattan resident, so I decided to retrace his footsteps. First, I went to the crime scene. I did. This is the side entrance of the Midtown Manhattan Hilton. Now, what's so interesting about this is that how did the shooter know that he was going to be walking on this side when the entrance is all the way on the other block? He stopped
some
him.
dark corners.
He stopped him.
This killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero.
What is alarming is that collectively, if you read the comments on social media about their opinions and their thoughts of Luigi, you will be alarmed and
I love her.
Horrified.
I saw on X people saying, oh, I'll put money in your commissary, baby. Oh, I know you had your reasons.
What exactly a kind of a message are they trying to send? Do you think healthcare is going to change because of this? No.
I think Luigi Mangione wanted to spark a national discussion about healthcare, about how we need to fix it, what needs to be done. I just don't understand why he had to kill Brian Thompson. Okay. So yeah, so you guys, I'll find a link to that. If you want to watch it, like I said, sign up for Fox Nation. You can cancel after, but go ahead and watch that. Watch the Blake Lively one I did, and also the Karen Reed one. So Karen Reed, that one, there's 2 episodes that I did, but let me find that link. And then you can sign up, watch it. I just, like I said, I was proud of the work I did on that one because they used just so much of my reporting, and I worked really hard, and my kids worked hard too. My kids worked really hard. Oh my gosh. I went very long on this stream today. So yes, I went a bit over, but there's not going to be a stream on Thursday because I'm going to Michigan with my family. So fun. And then the next week I'll have a stream definitely on Tuesday, maybe not on Thursday because we have to go to Maine. We're cramming in all the trips before the kids start school. So I know you guys, you know how that is. But make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you can see all of the videos that I'll be putting out in between. I would love that so much. And yeah, sorry, I just yapped and yapped and yapped today, but I hope you enjoyed the stream. And Vince, he's great. And I appreciate you all, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks for being here, guys. And yes, listen to Dizzy. And Dizzy, thank you again. Oh, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all. Bye. Bye, Simi. Bye, Gary. Bye, Caleb. Bye, Sherry. Thank you.